And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. James out west here, bringing you an amazing episode number 52 of the No Hype Zone with Seth and Lance. I'm bringing you this intro because we had an amazing conversation yesterday talking basketball, unlocking the secrets of the Heat. Is Jimmy Butler a superstar? How do you stop LeBron? What's going on with the Clippers? We get into football, talk about what we learned the first 2 weeks. Obviously, Brady, Belichick. Are the Steelers back? Do the Browns have a winning season? All kinds of great stuff. We get into some baseball and a little bit of hockey and a whole bunch of our boy Lance going off on certain subjects. Now, I will try to line up pictures along with what we're talking about to make it more visibly pleasurable. But for those that are listening, you're not going to miss a thing. It's a great conversation. I look forward to everybody watching it. The No Hype Zone, episode 52. I hope you all enjoy.
The No Hype Zone. I am Seth.
This is Lance.
James out west. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I would say we're joined by our third honorary member, James out west. We are in his revamped studio. This is like immaculate. This is like sports heaven right here, man.
Thanks, brother.
This is like
This is
quarantine in the making.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Being locked down.
Even though you guys watching can't see, but later on he's going to do like a little panoramic view of all the stuff that he has up here. So this is like a fantastic man cave. So we appreciate coming in here. It's been such a long time.
It has been.
And the summers here are hot, so no AC out here in the garage.
But it's cool. So it's
The
cool
AC's
right now.
on, but it doesn't work very well. We're in the dog
good.
days.
I'm good right now. This is better than 119, so it's good.
Yeah,
That is true.
right on. I'm going to say the NFL is finally back, which is fantastic. Football is back. The Big Ten starts. A little side note, Big Ten starts October 23rd. That just came out earlier this week. Right? Their schedule came out. Did you see the schedule that came out? Okay, he's got the schedule already up. Look at that. He's doing his homework. But first, we want to get into the NBA because I know Lance is chomping at the bit. Since we ended our show last week, it was like on a Saturday. On Sunday, he's like, I can't wait to the next show.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much.
Lance, if you have anything you want to get off your chest.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to get off
Go
my
ahead.
chest. I hope everybody can duck, but this thing is like ridiculous, man. First of all, I know you want to talk about the 4 teams that's in, but we got to talk about the Clippers. No hype. The Clippers wet the bed, terrible. They need to be sponsored by Depends at this point. It was horrible.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, PG, as much as I thought that PG, he should never be called playoff P, first of all. PG is the common denominator when it comes to the debacle with OKC and here. The way that he fell off in OKC when Damian Lillard hit the three-pointer on him on defense, and
That's a meme.
then he comes back and, you know, I was looking at something on YouTube where this guy was saying, you know, you can't talk trash and be trash at the same time. How can you talk trash and be trash?
Takes one to know one? I don't know. Takes one to know one?
I mean, this is crazy. Patrick Beverly, his defense.
Nothing.
He
Lou
did all
Williams,
this talking.
nothing, right?
Sweet Lou, you know, I love Sweet Lou's game, but come on, man. So, and I'm not a Clippers fan, but we all picked the Clippers to win. On paper, with the coaching style, they should have won it. And I'm not trying to say Doc Rivers is the second coming of Vince Lombardi, but Doc Rivers had Sam Cassell, he had Ty Lue, and I forgot the other guy he had on the side. But he had some coaches on his team where this team should not have lost. So, no hype. This team totally wet the bed. All hype. I don't believe that this team is gonna come back the same way. James and I, that's what we was talking at the beginning. All hype again. I believe that somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to go. Either it's Montrez or it's either PG.
Doc Rivers.
And
That's the common denominator, right? 3 times he's been out 3-1. He's been out.
Doc.
And when's the last time he won a championship?
yeah,
In 08. In 08 when he had 3 superstars on the squad, right? Since then, has he even reached a Western Conference final
Right.
since then?
Right. No hype is Doc.
Or even an Eastern
He
Conference
hasn't
final?
done anything with the Clippers.
Right.
No hype. Doc did not make any changes. I'm going to say this one thing. When Doc was out there recruiting or looking at his son play against the Lakers, I thought that was disrespectful to the Nuggets. He spent more time, and his team carried that same attitude. They thought that this is a rollover game or a rollover series. We can just beat these boys and turn it on whenever we want to.
They were entitled, I feel like.
And he was literally scouting the Lakers, but it was being played off like he was looking at Austin Rivers. And I'm like, no, this is some crap.
I see what you're saying. He's looking
He's
ahead.
already looking ahead. Like, and
Gotcha.
the team took the same approach. And then you got this boy that's hotter than fish grease, Jamal Murray, just going nuts. And you got Jokic out here throwing dimes like, he a banker. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, fish grease is hot. Just
Look
fact
at you.
check.
Man,
Fish
it's real
grease
tough.
is
Fish
hot.
grease is hot.
Did you
man.
think of that like before? Or that just kind of
my dad is
That's
Charles
awesome.
Johnson.
That is
my dad
awesome.
worked at the post office. This
Okay.
was like conversation for how the way he talk.
Wow.
He say hi to you with some funny analogies. So, but real talk, no hype. That debacle has to go down as one of the biggest letdowns in sports history because nobody expected the Clippers to go out that way. They could have lost to the Lakers. You can't lose to Denver, especially when the richest owner in sports is sitting up here doing everything possible to make sure that y'all win the chip. So I'm going to cut
James,
it right there.
do you have anything to add to the Clippers?
I don't like the Lakers.
Oh, man.
That's
I'm
all I
sorry.
got to say about
All right.
that.
All right. Well, what do you guys think is the secret to unlocking, to beating the Heat? Because the Heat are on fire right now, pun intended.
You got to go see the Wizard and go get a heart. That's what you got to do. I mean, it's just one of the things. Miami has so much heart. That block that Bam Adebayo did on Jason Tatum in Game 1, no hype, is one of the best blocks in the game. Although LeBron's block in the 2016 series and LeBron's block on Westbrook alone in the last series was next level.
Or the one on Splitter Tiago against San Antonio a couple years ago, too. Remember that? Straight face up?
No,
LeBron-
LeBron's block on Iguodala to win the
Yeah.
championship
It's a monster.
That's
is the
one.
monster.
That's-
Yeah.
And I'll
that's
tell you
the
why
next
that's one,
one.
because that was in
That's
Game 7,
Yeah.
and that was to prevent the
Yeah.
team from going up.
Yes, sir.
This block, Game 1, and it was to prevent a tie.
Yeah, that's Mount Rushmore.
Semantics.
That block.
Semantics.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but
I agree.
But that block, Bam literally had his hand in the rim.
Yeah.
It should
all the way
would've
back.
been
It was
goal-
all the way back. It was
goaltending.
wild.
It should have been.
Wouldn't that have been wild if they'd called it goaltending?
man.
You're funny. You were talking about that, too. Goaltending.
Like that would have been
Yeah.
that would have been so 2020 for them to call
Yeah.
goaltending on that.
They
Like
would have. They would
that
have.
was
right?
wild.
Right.
You see the still picture. I mean, his hand, he's
It's
double
like
jointed.
flat.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
back in the rim.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah. I was going to say the Heat all around, they play such great team basketball. There's like no one superstar in the squad. I feel like the ball gets distributed evenly for everybody, and that's what makes them so good. Because that one guy you can defend is everybody.
Sure, and it has to be because they don't have that superstar. Jimmy Buckets, I'm sorry, is not a superstar. He's a
No.
star.
You know what
He's
he
a
is?
good basketball player. He's not a Hall of Famer. I don't care if they win
Right.
a championship this year. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's a
Right.
very good basketball player. He's not an all-time great, in my opinion. I think to be that, you should win where you go. He's had multiple chances with a lot of teams. He was in Philly, couldn't get it together. Was in Minnesota, couldn't get it together. Was in Chicago, couldn't get it together. Now is it him or is it Coach Spoelstra coaching the hell out of these boys?
So-
men, because they are grown men
Right.
with lives and wives.
Right. Right.
Well, I'm gonna
What's your
say
take on
this.
that? Yeah.
My take on that, my hype on that is this: Butler is like the ultimate sheepdog. If you don't show up and do what you're supposed to do, or you get out of line of the little yard, and you decide to walk out on your own and be a lost sheep, he gonna come at you. He gonna and he'll defend you all day long. He's not gonna let a wolf come at you. But in the meantime, you gonna fall right in line with what he does. Like they said, the first day of practice, he showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the practice didn't start at 8 o'clock. That's the way that he sets the tone. I totally agree. No hype with what James is saying. He is not a superstar. In Chicago, he was used to Tibbs. When Tibbs tried to play really soft in Minnesota, he called Tibbs out. He called out Karl Anthony Towns. He called out Wiggins. He doesn't play those games because he knows it takes a team of all heart to get over. Because Marquette doesn't teach that. Marquette is an all team. They play like team offense. So from where he comes from, he carried that over in the NBA. Dwayne Wade was the same way. Let me step back, let somebody else do it. And if this is going to get us a win, it doesn't matter. So that's what I really like about Jimmy Butler, no hype, that he's a sheepdog. No hype, he's not a superstar. All hype, they got a shot to shock the world because they have the heart that can beat a team, and I'm not going to say they're going to beat the Lakers or anything like that, but with that type of camaraderie, that type of the way that they're playing all in sync, the way they are, they all on 10, 100 right now, they can upset a giant, man, for real.
let's move on to the Celtics side. So these past 2 games could have gone either way. So for the Celtics, how surprised are you that they're down 0-2, and do you think they can come back with those 2 heartbreaking losses?
You want to go ahead and hit first? Because I'm going to go on the tangent.
Can they come back? Can they come back? Yeah.
Sure.
Will they come back? No.
Okay.
And that's not an indictment on Miami as far as like Boston just really wetting the bed on this. Like you said, they're playing on fire right now. And with that, that's going to win close games. They're going to will it to happen. But at the end of the day, superseding talent typically wins in a 7-game series.
Especially in the NBA.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And that's what LeBron, when LeBron beat the Rockets, he was supposed to beat the Rockets. I told everybody that. He was supposed to beat the Rockets.
You were staunch on that.
Yeah.
You're like Lakers in 5.
Lakers
in 4.
They should have won it in 3 if it could have been in a 5. But the real talk.
And that's good being a huge Rockets fan.
Yeah, no hype.
Yeah.
You LeBron James, you Michael Jordan, you Kobe Bryant, you are not supposed to go out in the second round with a little bit of talent. If you have no talent, then I can understand. But with a little bit of talent, you got enough in you to will your team at least to the conference finals. With that being said, Jason Tatum is my new favorite player. Everybody, I've been saying this for the past 3 shows. Jason Tatum is butter. He's the Kobe Bryant of Kevin Durant. I've been saying that too.
Right.
The thing with Jason Tatum, he gave it everything. He's giving it everything he's got. They got a junkyard dog in Marcus Smart. They got everything that they need. They got even a little bit of height and thinness. The thing is, the heart of Miami is if Miami sweep them, it's because it's hard. It wasn't because Boston didn't show up. Kemba hasn't been playing great, but it's not because Boston is bad. It's just because the persistence and that will to win by Miami from Spoelstra. No, from Pat Riley down to Spoelstra, down to Jimmy Butler, you got 3 checkpoints that create that momentum so the rest of the team can get that flood. And now you got a young budding star and Bam Adebayo. Man, please. Miami Heat is poison. They poison with BBD singing it. For real. No hype.
Hold on. I want to acknowledge the Bell Biv DeVoe reference.
Yes, absolutely.
For the culture. For the
I'm
culture.
just saying, like, you like I said at the top of the show, Lance has been like a rabid dog, just like chomping at the bit. He just has to let it off his chest.
You can't see it because I got the mask on right now, but I'm really.
And we appreciate the mask, sir.
The only reason he's wearing it is because it's foam coming out of the mouth. He's just so ready. He's just so ready.
Talk to me. Fam.
All right, then my next question for you, gentlemen: how do you stop the Lakers?
You want to hit that? Because you
well,
preface this with hype and no hype.
Well, let me start. I was going to say, we watched it last night. Why did the Lakers win last night? I feel like because they couldn't stop the big men. LeBron had 15 points. Because he knew it's not up to me to score. I see a mismatch with Anthony Davis and Joker was in foul trouble early. Keep feeding him the rock. You can't stop that, man.
I got the answer for you.
You know?
I want
you got the answer. I hope you do.
So I'm saying you got to stay out of foul trouble, and you got to play Nuggets basketball.
Okay, you know how to stop the Lakers? Have better teams in the East. Sorry. Have better teams in the East. This Miami team's going to go in there with no superstar, and they're not going to take that team down.
Well, they don't have the size either. If
they will lose out of sheer talent differential.
Yep.
Coaching-wise, the same. Maybe I'd give the edge to Spoelstra.
Right.
I'd give the edge to Spoelstra.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
I agree.
He's going to – now, if it's close clutch situations, I'm trusting Spoelstra more than I'm trusting that cat, but I will trust LeBron overall.
But we're getting off on a tangent. I'm talking about the Lakers and the Nuggets.
So
not the Lakers and the Heat.
How does the Lakers beat – how did
the Nuggets beat the Lakers?
I'm going to go back to – you notice I've been calling LeBron Miami LeBron. No hype. Hype-wise, if LeBron is overconfident, which LeBron has a tendency to be sometimes, he's already feeling – that's why he's playing free. He knows that the Clippers is out the way, and if he continues to keep drinking this Kool-Aid that this is his championship, and you allow – like they blow out game 2, I can see the Lakers letting down their guard. I can see the Lakers already pulling the Clippers move.
And I was just about to say that. We saw what happens when you let your guard down.
And as soon as you do that, that's like putting razor blade cuts on your butt and jumping in the alcohol pool. Because Denver is the type of team that's the alcohol pool.
They will
burn your butt really, really quick if you decide to think that, they don't have a chance. So that's the way you beat the Lakers because no hype. LeBron is playing like the GOAT right now. And I love Michael Jordan, but LeBron is doing, at 17 seasons in the league, the way he has that athleticism banging right now, it's next level.
Well, when you spend $1.2 million on your body a year,
and it's showing.
You could be athletic at 35
It's showing
years
like
old.
he spent $1 billion on his body.
And that might be a tax write-off. I mean, it's for his business.
Yeah, there you go.
We trainers, we spend money.
There you go.
on
All right, my next question, you gentlemen. Can you break the spirit of the Nuggets?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think they did that?
No, they didn't do it yet. They didn't do it yet. They hold Jokic to what they did, get him in foul trouble, get him frustrated, get these young kids because Jokic is young, Murray's young.
Yep.
And ultimately, when you say, can they beat them? How do you beat them? You're only going to do that one game. Doing what you just said will get them one game. If LeBron thinks, because he is petty LeBron right now, oh, I only got 14 votes out of 101. I'm mad. When he's that way, he's petty LeBron.
Thank you.
So it only
watch
takes.
out.
It takes. But you know what? It takes that slap in the face. Like you said, he's too cocky right now, a little too confident.
Yeah.
Denver can take advantage of that, but it's only going to be for one game.
Yep.
I don't think
so.
he's
This
cocky
ends
at all.
in 5 or 6.
You never do. You the LeBron, you in your hype when you are never in your hype, but in your hype.
This is no hype.
Yeah, okay.
LeBron is not cocky.
Nah, that's crap.
Because if he was, he'd be
What?
going out there scoring, being a one-man band, and he's not.
No. That's
he's
Michael.
distributing.
Michael said, "Oh, you didn't vote for me for? Oh, you gave it to Charles Barkley.
Right.
I'm gonna drop 50 on him and beat him in 6.
Thank you.
Right.
And would have said a word about it.
Yep.
LeBron is out there on social media. I'm mad. I'm so upset.
Yeah.
This
Hey,
is
he's a millennial. What do you
disrespectful."
expect?
Yeah,
no, I
that's-
understand
What do you
it,
expect?
but that's what I'm getting at. Is that? But it'll take one game,
Yeah.
and then he pays attention to what people said. And as soon as Skip says, "Hey, watch my app, Skip. Hey, Skip, look over here, Skip." When Shannon Sharp starts that stuff,
Skip.
"Hey, we got one more day, Skip. One more day. LBJ gonna be the king, Skip."
right.
As soon as we get that going, and LeBron watches that, okay, now Skip's calling me out, Shannon's calling me out.
Yeah.
Now it's time to put the hammer down. Like he needs.
But has he not put down the hammer already?
See, the thing is, he put down the hammer, no hype. He put the hammer down. For what I'm looking at hype-wise is everything that James is saying right now, that when he starts getting to the point where he doesn't stay locked in, he doesn't start answering the critics or the praise.
Zero dark 30 should have stayed.
When
Zero dark
He is in
23.
dark mode, and he's doing that right now.
I don't think so.
He's
LeBron,
not.
he after the MVP was won by Giannis and the Clippers debacle, he knew that it was he's been already anointed this championship. No
That's
hype.
dangerous. That's
No hype.
dangerous.
Everybody
I can agree
is
with
saying that this is LeBron's championship, and with that also comes the
pressure.
respect. No, comes the respect that he's been trying to get since. For
14 years old.
He's been wanting to be in the same class with no debates about him being like Mike, him being better than Kobe. No hype. So with this going in my hype, I'm believing that he's thinking that this is the ultimate the ultimate prize. Because if I win this, I won with 3 different teams. I done took a Lakers franchise that's everybody know the Lakers franchise is how everybody loves the Lakers and how many championships they won in the past. And now I'm about to win. Like I said, I'm gonna win my 4th championship. I'm on GOAT status, and with that comes you can lose focus. And when you lose focus like that, Murray and Jokic is the last two to
But he hasn't lost focus, is what I'm trying to say.
He
Not
hasn't
yet,
yet.
but
He's won the first series. He won the second one 3-1.
He's
or 4-1.
also in his bag right now.
Yeah.
So that's a dangerous place for LeBron to be because LeBron wants to be liked by everybody. And when there's any negativity out there on them, it affects him. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Right.
It's good to be one to be liked. Like I think he's a good person. He really genuinely wants to be loved by all.
Right.
But I think it takes him to a petty place when he's not. And that could go either one or two ways. If LeBron comes out next game
If he's pissed off, LeBron,
and drops a trip dub, but it's 35-plus points trip dub, and they win, then petty LeBron is making his standpoint. But if it's 15, 9, and 9, and he's a little bit more, I'm going to pass here, I'm going to do this there, it's sulking.
No, but
It's
he's
pouting.
he's passing because he knows the matchups pass to AD.
It works.
It's a mismatch, and it works
But
because his basketball IQ is so high.
But what happens when that goes to Rondo? When I think eventually the real Rondo shows up. What's going on right now with Rondo? Rondo's
doing
in
it,
twilight.
man. Been doing it.
My concern
Wow.
is that his drop off at times can be so drastic that if he's not at that point, the Lakers are have a real problem.
So no hype. What you just said, that the reason when you just said one name, no hype. This is why the Lakers will win. I'm going to say this.
And that's
because they
no
got
hype. Okay.
No hype. It's because they got Rondo. Rondo is already realizing he's the big brother on the team, and LeBron trusts him. So like Dwayne Wade, he's going to keep LeBron focused on this chip. And also, you just got the resurgence of Dwight Howard. Last night, Dwight Howard played like a man out of his mind.
I'm impressed by Dwight. Yep.
So between Rondo and Dwight Howard, The Morris brother, he sat around there and popped about 3-4 threes in a row. Kuzma is back getting his swag. With that being said, the Lakers just stay there, and LeBron doesn't try to go out there and prove nothing and just play it game by game.
So if he plays like he did yesterday.
If he plays like he's been playing this whole playoff.
Yes.
If he plays like he's been playing this whole playoff, there's no reason for the Lakers not to win.
Right.
If he starts thinking that this is mine, that's how you beat LeBron. You can't beat this giant. You got to make this giant beat himself.
And I think a lot of this is also, we're all putting this on LeBron's legacy, but not that I don't like Rondo, I'll be honest. But for his own legacy to win without the big three in with the Celtics, to be able to do this at this stage of his career, this is his last,
he's up there
hoorah
too.
for a championship.
Definitely.
Rondo's already a Hall of Famer, even though I don't like it.
Yeah,
100%. He's a Hall of Fame basketball player. He's a Hall of Fame basketball player. You don't have to have a good.
No hype. He's a Hall of
You don't
Fame.
have to have a good jump shot to not be in the. Dennis Rodman's a Hall of Fame.
No hype.
But Rondo, I see this as that too. Like LeBron has to pull a ragtag group together to win. He always has to feel like the underdog. And when he is in his bag where he's petty LeBron, that's dangerous. So hopefully he looks at the team, sees who's still on that roster, and realizes this roster's not that much, besides AD, is not that much better than that team he took to the championship in 2007 that got swept by the Spurs. He's got a bag of balls on that roster.
I was say, finish your thought. I was going to.
No, I'm just saying, so I think he needs to have that focus. If Rondo can keep him focused like that, yeah, I think they're a really hard team to beat.
I did want to mention something about Rondo, but you guys already touched on all the points. It's good to see his resurgence back in there. But this is the first time Rondo in the playoffs has been in the playoffs in a while, right? Last time he was in there was with AD back.
New Orleans?
Yeah, a couple years ago, so it's been a little while,
Right.
So right on. All right, so we got to move on here. So next segment, can we get a little music in the background for this quick hitting hype, no hype here, if you got some? All right, so this next segment, we're just going to do like a quick 20-second hype, no hype on just a couple topics here, still in the NBA. So we're going to go, I'll just start while you're doing that music there. So we're going to go, so hype or no hype is Jimmy Butler. He's an underrated superstar. Lance.
No hype. He is an underrated superstar. He's not a super top 10 player, but he is a superstar. So no hype.
Okay, I'm also going to agree with you on that. I'm going to say no hype as well. I feel like he's finally getting his due in Miami. Like we saw the splashes like you talked about in Minnesota when he was like, he had that big blow up in Minnesota because he wanted everybody else to be on the same page he was. Now he found a team that's on the same page he is. Go ahead, James.
No hype. He's not a superstar.
No hype. He's not a superstar.
He's not a superstar. He's a star. He's a good basketball player.
Okay.
But it takes a superstar to win a championship. So even if he wills them to the finals, they might get swept by the Lakers. That's a sad situation.
Gotcha. All right, so next, we're going to go, an 0-2 deficit is not too big for the Celtics to come back. Lance.
No hype.
Hype or no hype? Yeah.
No hype. You're right. It's not too big for the Celtics to come back because Brad Stevenson is one of the best coaches in the league. And you got a Marcus Smart. You don't have a Jimmy Butler, but you got another pit bull on the other side of Marcus Smart that's trying to strike up fire in this team. So no hype. They can come back and do this. And Tatum.
They can come back and do this for sure. Down 0-2, they can come back and do this. And again, Miami doesn't have that superstar that can will them on to that next part. I don't think they do it though. I know you love Marcus Smart and you do need that bulldog, but at the end of the day,
I like Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is my dude.
But going back to your Marcus Smart about that dog, put Will in and everything, but his skill level only gets you so far. And if that's what you have to rely on is him, they're beat in 5. They'll win one more. They'll win one.
I was going to say hype because I think the Heat are going to pull this off.
Okay.
They might even do it in 4. They might even do it in 4. Why not? I'm going to come out here and say it.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, next, hype or no hype. The Joker and Murray are the next great duo in the NBA.
That's no hype again. You got me 3 times on the no hype. Basically, Murray, the way Joker is playing, Joker is like a modern-day Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol at the same time. He's playing with both of their type of intelligence. And Murray has ice water veins. Yesterday, he was, double teamed. But if he finds a little daylight, he's going to take advantage of it. No hype. They can.
No hype. They are a legit duo in the NBA. Do I think they're the next best duo in the NBA?
Yes, that's the question. The next best
No,
thing.
I don't.
Okay.
The next best thing is Luka Doncic and the Unicorn, only because.
So it's hype is your answer then.
Yeah, it's hype.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think they're going to be really good. So I don't think they are the next great. I think the next great was seen in the playoffs that got knocked out a little earlier. But I think with Luka getting this full year in with a Porzingis that's healthy and getting him in the offseason and giving him that killer, you saw it at the end. Even though they lost, Porzingis wasn't playing like a little baby. He's playing like a big man now. He's playing like an adult.
Right.
Where over in Europe, he could play like a baby, so to speak, because he was so big.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no. When you're 7 foot, you don't go to the hole and lay it up off the glass.
Right.
You dunk
You
it.
dunk it off.
And now he's starting to take that, and he's starting to stare people down and starting to get like, I don't want to use the overused verbiage of the Mamba mentality, but the point of, no, you're not going to punk me. Now, it's taken them this long to get there, but hell yeah, they're the next best duo in the NBA.
Okay.
If we
Gotcha.
can stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm going to say no hype
Word.
on that. It'll be fun to watch some guys from a team that aren't in a huge market take off. So it's good to see Denver in the Western Conference Finals.
Kudos to you, Seth. You've been calling out Denver since the no hype zone
Forever.
started. So he's been calling them out. That's that Buffalo in them.
Yeah, right.
Small teams. Go ahead.
We got one more. Lakers are going to go 8-0 the rest of the way. Well, 7-0 now. They won yesterday in Game 1. So is that hype or no hype?
All hype. All hype. The Lakers is not. They're not going to sweep Denver. Although I put out that in the text yesterday, but I put that out.
You're doing
times.
that just to spite somebody.
I was doing that. The Lakers, I was literally trying to put, a little some jinx on the Lakers. But to be honest with you, I believe that this is going to go 6, to be honest with you. And if it goes 7, Denver's got this. No hype. I'm saying that right here. All hype. I'm saying no hype. Lakers in 6, no hype.
Look in the camera when you say that.
No hype. Lakers in 6, no hype. Denver in 7.
Oh, wait. You just said no hype twice.
I didn't. I said Lakers in 6 and no hype.
Okay.
But if it goes to a game 7, no hype Denver. So that's what I'm trying to say. If it goes 7,
okay.
Denver.
You guys heard it here.
If the Lakers
Charles
had
Barkley,
already
Lance
if
Johnson.
they already started leaking a little bit to allow them to get to a 6 game and a 7 game, I believe that the way that Jokic and Murray doesn't, had a never say die mentality, they'll get you in the game 7. They're scary.
Go ahead, James.
I had to cut the music because I can't. There is no way in hell LeBron James is losing a game 7.
Okay.
Now, that'll put me in my hype and no hype for LeBron because, I think he's the GOAT, but right now I got a little haterade for LeBron.
Yeah, I know you do.
But my point is there's no way he's going to lose a game 7. He will more than anything that Jokic and Murray can ever bring to the table. That would be where LeBron has a 40-point, 17 rebound, 11 assist, triple-double to win the game by 4, and he won't pass the ball at the end. He will. This is on. That's when you get to legacy talk.
Yeah.
You're going to stop because he loses a game 7 to the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
But a good Denver Nuggets team.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not
it
talking about
does
internally.
not
I'm talking
matter.
about
If you
the
lost to the
Denver- so what?
Clippers, it'd be more acceptable.
That's the main reason why I said that.
In the argument of being the GOAT, he cannot lose a game 7 to the
Right.
Denver
Neither
Nuggets.
could the Clippers.
And he won't.
He won't.
Neither could
He
the
won't.
Clippers. And
He
that's
won't.
what I'm trying to say. The Clippers got a billionaire team. They couldn't lose a game 7. There's no way possible. Kawhi being as a killer assassin, I know we ain't arguing this point,
Right.
but I'm just trying to say that what I'm saying is not so far-fetched. That LeBron, if he allows Denver to come back in a couple of games, why even give him that type of momentum? Because
Yeah, you don't wanna do that.
history has proven they done came back from a 3-1.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes.
So, and that's no hype.
Yep. All right, so let's move on. We have football next. I don't know if you guys saw the slate of games for this weekend, but I'm curious to see what 2 games you guys are looking forward to on Sunday. I will start. I do want to see Seattle and the Patriots are playing. That should be a good game. I love seeing what Bill Belichick is doing there in New England. I actually kind of expected this. This is Bill Belichick's MO. He doesn't try to fit a square peg into a round hole. He knows what he has, and he works with it. So that's going to be exciting. My next game I want to see is the Chiefs and San Diego, only because San Diego, yes. The Chiefs are playing San Diego.
San Diego?
Sorry. The Chargers. I'm sorry. I'm so used to San Diego, I can't. It's hard to say the LA Chargers.
I'm still saying, ooh,
Sorry,
that's so
I
good.
still want to see the
Sorry.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Sorry, and I'll tell you why. Because they
Kenosha
laid
Chargers,
it.
it don't matter.
Because I was so high on the Chargers in the offseason because their roster is so talented. They almost lost to the Bengals on Sunday. And I want to see Tyrod kind of open it up a little bit. But this is kind of how he plays. Hold on, this is kind of how he plays, right? Dink and dunk. He does enough to not turn the ball over, but he doesn't do enough to make a big play for you. You know what I'm saying? So Tyrod, do something with this plethora of talent you have around you. So let's see that. So those are the 2 games I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Okay.
Go.
So I was looking forward to Kansas City until you told me about them you know about that they're going to play San Diego.
Chargers.
LA.
LA Chargers. Sorry.
Anyway, so he got me tongue-tied because I can't believe that he wants to see Tyrod Taylor.
Yes.
When you got Cam Newton and Seattle.
But I said 2 games. I said 2 games. So those are my both games.
So I want to see, of course, that Cam Newton-Seattle game. But I also want to see any game that Baltimore is playing because I don't know who Baltimore is playing, but Lamar Jackson is my new hype.
Ooh, that'd be another good game.
At Houston.
Just real quick, I'm sorry, just to piggyback off you. Who's that quarterback in Houston?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun, do something. In the sense of like you've getting all this hype.
Coach.
Do something. Like get yourself over the hump. Sorry. Go ahead, Lance. Stealing your thunder.
So as far as I'm concerned, listen here, y'all. Baltimore and Houston is my game. And the second game is Seattle and New England because I think Cam Newton is trying to prove something, and it's fun to watch him just be the old Cam. And Russell Wilson is playing out of his mind. And I'm big on Lamar Jackson right now. He's must-see TV. And Deshaun Watson is good. I don't believe anything in O'Brien though, so I don't see Houston going anywhere.
All right, me too. Billy O'Stooge. Yeah.
There you go.
Now, I can't take credit for that. We'll get into that later. But so the 2 games I'm looking forward to because the Cleveland Brownies already took down the Cincinnati Bengals. But 2 games I'm looking forward to, Minnesota at Indy because they're both 0-1.
Okay.
Which team comes out of that 0-2 is not making the playoffs? Indy's got Phillip Rivers. He knows the offense. They got a lot of hype on that offensive line, talent-wise. And Minnesota's Minnesota. This is the first year. Stefanski's gone. You got Diggs gone, working in a rookie, Justin Jefferson. So I think whichever one comes out of that 0-2 is really feeling the heat this year because they will not make the playoffs, statistically speaking. The second game I like, New Orleans at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Monday Night Football at the Death Star.
Is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah,
the Death Star?
It's
That's
amazing. It is
That is cool,
amazing.
man. That's cool.
Now we'll give the owner, Mr. Davis, credit. He said, if we can't have all the fans, we're going to have no fans. I appreciate that. If the black hole can't be there, we're not going to have fans. I respect that in a way, especially because a man that couldn't pay Khalil Mack any money because they don't have no money. So I respect that. Now, New Orleans, no Michael Thomas. That's a big time. Now, he says he wants a high ankle. He says he wants to play. They're saying he's going to be out several weeks.
Okay.
So to me, big Alvin Kamara, big Taysom Hill game. Just enough.
You hear it right here.
Yeah. Just enough to get it done. Raiders are +6. They don't get it done. I think New Orleans wins that game.
Okay. Those are your 2?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next on the docket, 2 things you guys learned on opening weekend.
Ooh.
Who wants to start?
The old Tom Brady. I'm saying this because
go ahead.
I think what's the name said this. Ryan Clark said this on ESPN. He was like, the old Tom Brady is not the old Tom Brady. So it's just what I've learned that Bill Arias has got to figure out. Leftwich has got to figure out a way to not have Brady looking like Jameis Winston. You can't throw those same type of pick six passes. So they're gonna have to switch up that offense a little bit, drop their ego, and conform to Brady some kind of way. Either you got to go to a dink and dunk or something, but you can't do those high risk, high reward passes that's making a legend, a GOAT in Brady look like I said. He's doing the same thing Jameis Winston's doing. So that's what I learned.
I learned the Washington football team, their defensive line is stacked.
They are.
They have all first-round picks on that defensive line. I did not realize that. And then in addition with Chase Young on there, 8 sacks. Look out.
Hey,
so
they
that's
play
what I'm
the
saying.
Cardinals this week.
Yeah, that's a tough game. I even heard who's the coach there for the Cardinals?
Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, Kingsbury's like, the defensive line is pretty stacked. We got to have a separate game plan for them.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So I didn't realize that. The second thing I learned is that it's going to sound old, but Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick is doing what Bill Belichick does.
Doing Belichick stuff.
Which is fun to watch if you're like a football nerd. Sorry. Third thing I watched or that I learned. I'm sorry.
I only
You're
got
good.
one.
The Browns. I'm sorry. The
You're
Browns have to run the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't throw the ball. Run. You have two. You have a thick ass back with Nick Chubb. Then you got a speedster slasher with Kamara.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Sorry. Run the ball.
Real quick before James go through, because you guys know the NFL better than me. I'm gonna say this here: the Cardinals is must-see TV.
They are.
That's what I've learned. that I enjoyed watching the Cardinals on Sunday. Thank you, Kyler Murray. Thank you, Kingsbury. Thank you, everybody else who I don't remember, but that wide receiver connection of Kirk, Hopkins, and Fitzgerald looks scary. And as far as I'm concerned, I can't wait to watch the Cardinals. I don't believe I'm saying this. It's been here since 2007, and I haven't been excited about watching the Cardinals. But I can't watch the Cardinals. I can't wait to watch the Cardinals this Sunday.
I agree with you right there. I'll say this. Hey, the Cardinals are going to be a playoff team.
Oh, yeah.
I really do believe the Cardinals are going to be. It doesn't matter. There's an extra wild card this year, so they
that's true.
They already beat San Francisco and San Fran, which needed to happen, which I called last week. But what I learned,
you could hear that on J.O.W. show.
J.O.W.
What I learned is that we put a lot of hype into Week 1. All of a sudden, Tom Brady's no longer the GOAT. First off, Tom Brady, if you didn't know this, and I can't take credit for this, this was Kyle Brandt from NFL Network, showed the last 3 games that Tom Brady has played. The last 3 games, he's thrown a pick 6 to end the game. So I don't know if this is Bruce Arians. I don't know if it's him, but we will get a chance this week because Chris Godwin's out.
Yes, he's on my fantasy. Dang.
Mike Evans out.
Really?
So we're talking Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard, and a Gronk fest.
So we got
okay.
Who knew those names? I didn't know those names.
So we're going to have, I think Tom will be just fine. I think Tampa Bay, wherever Tommy goes, the hype goes. I think it is going to be that who's better. We're going to have that angle. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this comes down to Tom will get it right. I think they'll be in the thick of things. If he is the GOAT, which everybody says he is, he'll adjust. I think they'll be fine. Same thing in New England. So to me, like you said, what you learn, Bill is Bill Belichick, and what I learned is Patty Mahomes does Patty Mahomes things, and that Chiefs team, minus the obligatory injury to the best player on the team, is a wrecking ball for the next 7 years.
And I think the Chiefs are favored in every game this year except for one when they play New Orleans.
Bro, I bet
New Orleans.
That'll change. The Chiefs right now today at L.A., 8.5-point favorite. In LA, and I know the Chargers played bad, but the point of being an 8.5 favorite on the road is so much respect.
High in the NFL.
There was 2 of them this week. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Tennessee's a 9-point favorite. That's a lot of points for a Tennessee team, in my opinion. And Jacksonville, Gardner Minshew showed up.
Dude, 19 of 19 last week.
Hey, I can't. Look, if they're sucking for Trevor Lawrence.
Minshew he didn't get the memo.
He didn't get the memo. He's like, no, I'm still the quarterback, dog. Like, I will say this. I learned a lot about the NFL in Week 1 is that we still don't know nothing about the NFL. I think it takes a few more weeks.
It takes 4 weeks. I've been saying it all week.
And we don't have any preseason to look at this. Right. Like, if all of y'all are into fantasy football like we all are, nobody had an opportunity to see anything. We literally drafted off what other people said.
Right. All right, let's get into our hype and no hype. Brady is showing his age, hype or no hype. I'll start on that. No hype. No hype. Give him 4 games. He'll be totally fine.
Agreed.
I'm going to say no hype as well. That Brady is just, like you said, Uncle Bruce got to make some adjustments. As soon as he light the fire up under Leftwich behind and make Leftwich change up some of the offensive play calling, Brady will get back to doing what he does.
Hype or no hype. Steelers are back.
I'm gonna say hype. I'm gonna say hype on that, and I'm saying this because I don't have any Cleveland ties. And
I was gonna say,
he's all Cleveland.
Yeah, take the bias out. Take it out.
If Roethlisberger stays healthy, because they got this new receiver over there, Johnson, that looks pretty good, and they got their running back. I forgot his guy,
James Conner.
But Conner was not in the last game.
Benny Snell.
But Snell looked good. This is for you, Jordan, at the gym, because I know you're a Pittsburgh guy. If Roethlisberger stays healthy, then you can say that. But I'm thinking that's all hype right now.
So 2 questions.
You got 20 seconds.
Does Jordan have all his teeth?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so he's one of the Steelers fans. Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, hold up.
Jordan got big muscles, too. I just wanted to throw that out.
That's okay. I bring lead pipes. I don't mess around. I'm too old, bro. I'm too old, Jordan. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Don't threaten me. That's James.
Yes, they are back, but again, with what you said, if Ben stays healthy, although the fact that he said he felt like he was in a car accident, he was already hobbling after the first 2 series, and he had ice on his elbow after Week 1, is a concern. And as a Browns fan, I think they're the 3rd best team in the division, but we have the best division in football. Okay. Yeah, we do.
Hype or no hype?
That's actually no hype. I think if you look
Okay,
at so
all
we go on
right.
paper,
NFC
talent-wise.
Wait, this is a whole different conversation. We got to move on.
All
right.
'Cause I know you're chomping.
No,
at the
you're
bit.
good.
So next one. This is for you. Hype or no hype? Hype or no hype? Browns have a winning season this year. I'll let you start. I'm just going to go last.
Okay.
Is that hype or is that no hype?
I think for a lot of people that will be hype.
I'm
I
gonna
can
say
see
hype
that.
as well.
And I can see that. I can see that. But I think that it's a 1-game difference. It's like they either go 9-7 or they go 8-8. Like 8-8 is not a winning season. It's not a losing season, but it's not a winning season, in my opinion. It's not a winning season. That's a break-even
So
season.
8-8 is like a push.
Yeah, it's a push. It's a push.
Okay.
So they got to go 9-7 or better. And if there's an extra wild card in the league this year, you have an opportunity by looking at the schedule. They should be 7-4 going into playing Baltimore. You hold your destiny in your own hands. They absolutely could have a winning record. That's to be seen. If they do what you said and run, and sprinkle in the pass, then yes, they do that. But if they try to throw Baker in Baker's bag, we're gonna have. Thank you.
And we've
gonna have
seen
a big
this now.
problem.
18 games. Baker being the starter, 17 games, whatever.
Something like that.
I'm
Lord. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna say that. Remember, they played the Bengals. I'm gonna say this again. They played the Bengals. Baker winning his bag against the Bengals. So as far as I'm concerned, he couldn't even do the. He didn't do anything that make me think that they're gonna have a winning season. Now, and I'm saying that with all hype, and I'm not saying that just to be against the Browns. OBJ got to get the ball. And if you go to the run game, then that means OBJ doesn't get the ball, which is going to cause problems with the whole offense. So as far as I'm concerned, unless Baker Mayfield becomes Baker Mayfield that we thought he was going to be when he got drafted, the Browns will not have a winning season. They need him to be Baker Mayfield. You can't put it in Chubb's hand. You got weapons in Jarvis Landry, and you got weapons in another weapon in Odell. Other than that, I think that's all hype. The Browns will not have a winning season.
Last question here. Did you guys hear what Bill Belichick said about Russell Wilson this week? Very un-Belichick-esque. He basically praised him, like hardcore praise.
Nah, that's Jedi mind tricks.
If you hear, so hold on, you're stealing the thunder of the
Okay,
question.
I'm sorry, thunder. Like,
Right? So the question is, what Belichick said about Russell Wilson, is that hype or no hype? Is he doing the Jedi mind trick? Like, he was basically saying, in my best Bill Belichick impersonation, he does everything really well. In critical situations, he makes the right decision. He just makes all the right throws. He's really good at his job. He's been doing it really well for a long time. That's my Bill Belichick impersonation. So he had like a 1-minute tangent on Russell Wilson and how awesome he is. So is he saying that to Jedi mind trick him, or does he actually mean it? So what I'm trying to ask here is, what he said hype, or is it no hype in Bill Belichick's mind?
No hype, because he said the same thing about Cam Newton, and he believed every word that he said about Cam Newton. He believes that Russell Wilson is what he said Russell Wilson is, which means that he's overly prepared for Russell Wilson. He understands that he's not going to take any chances with Russell Wilson. So that's no hype. That's him calling Russell Wilson out like, I'm ready to know. I know that you're a monster, so I'm ready for you, monster.
Two things. Yes, that's no hype. I think there's certain players that Bill Belichick respects the hell out of, that he will speak honestly about. Ed Reed was one of those guys. Chad Ochocinco-Johnson was one of those guys. Russ is one of those guys. That is absolutely right, because in the back of his mind, he knows if Pete Carroll doesn't act like a fool and try to make Russell Wilson throw the football, they lose another Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So he respects the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no hype on that. I think he legitimately respects what Russ does. Now, on the flip side of that, though, he's going to do everything he can to eliminate Russ's strengths.
Yes,
so
of course,
almost like Lamar Jackson, don't rush him.
Mm-hmm.
Hope your corners and your safeties can cover enough to get a covered sack.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rush him, because when you rush him, that's when they make those immaculate plays. Mr. Unlimited gets it done.
You don't like Lamar?
First, Mr. Unlimited is Russell Wilson.
Oh, okay.
That's what he calls himself. He didn't even get that. He wasn't given that nickname. He gave himself that nickname, which is a no.
He also this weekend called himself the best quarterback in the league.
Who did?
See, that's when you start tanking. That's when you go down. When you start drinking your own Kool-Aid and you know.
But his confidence, is it more confidence than anything? I'm the best guy.
No. You can say I'm one of the best. You can always give that humble opinion. Even if
he's a humble dude too. He's
no, he's
humble.
not. He's not at all.
No.
He puts on that persona. Russell Wilson is not humble. He's a stooge and a sellout.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
wow.
fire.
All right.
But he's a hell of a football player.
All right. Agreed.
I
All
ain't
right.
touching out the 10
So
foot pole.
that's our football and basketball. So I want to get real quick. Just one baseball question because I know we haven't talked a lot of baseball.
Woo.
So playoffs are coming up here. So Shane Bieber is now 8-1.
Go Dennis. Go Dennis.
For this is particularly for Dennis and for James because we're here as a Cleveland fan.
Yeah.
Does he win the Cy Young and the MVP this year?
Best pitcher in baseball. Why not?
I mean,
no
I think that's no hype at all. I think there's no
Hype,
hype.
yes. Hype, yes. No hype. They won't give it to a pitcher in a shortened season
But didn't
like this.
Verlander do that a couple years ago?
Yeah, when you
I
have a
think
full
so.
season,
Yeah.
when you have a full season, I think so.
Yeah.
I think you can do that.
Yeah.
But I think a guy he's probably going to go 10-1.
Yeah.
Let's just say under 2 ERA.
Yeah.
You're not going to give. If there's guys out there in the AL that are smashing the ball and have a good, I don't see them doing that in a third of a season. Essentially, it's a third of a season.
Right.
I don't see them giving it to a pitcher like that. I just don't.
Okay.
I would wish. I think he is the best player in baseball.
Oh, yeah, by far.
By
Yeah.
regardless
Yeah.
position
Yep.
as of today. But that you got to be extra special for a full season to get that. So as an
Yep.
Indians fan, I hope so. I wish so, but I don't see them actually doing that.
No hype. He's getting it. He's got the
Yep.
momentum carrying over from the All-Star game last year. He's got the name. As long as Cleveland goes out there and take care of business, he's the best player in baseball. Everybody's saying that. Every network is saying that. I'm watching the hype. I'm watching all the little stats here and there. He's the most dominant player in baseball right now in the AL.
Agreed.
As far as I'm
Yep.
so no hype. He should get it.
Real quick, World Series picks off the cuff. Now that playoffs are almost getting set.
Dodgers.
Dodgers and
I don't know. I'm scared to say the Padres because the Padres is hot. And I'm scared to say the Cubs because if I say that, then that's going to jinx the Cubs as usual. They don't need too much. You said World Series. So,
yeah. So
World Series.
I need AL and
it
NL
might be
team.
the stupid White Sox or
I was saying the White
Cleveland.
Sox just clinched.
Don't let me say that. Don't say
They're
that. Go
crushing
Cleveland
teams right
Indians.
now.
Go Cleveland.
thank
Go
you.
Cleveland. Go Cleveland. Go Cleveland. Go Cleveland. I cannot have the White Sox
All right.
winning.
Hype, Dodgers, Indians.
Right.
No hype, Dodgers, Yankees.
Yankees are not even going to make the playoffs right now.
No, listen.
Did you watch
Yankees
him
are-
smile?
listen,
Did you see him
They're on a
smile
6-game
drop?
win streak, but
You
they
said-
need to win a
yeah,
lot.
that was
Yeah,
like
but
a cuss
that's
word.
right now.
Because
You
Tampa's
said-
already
Hey.
clinched.
But that's right
You
now.
want to get him in his hype?
Right.
Say the Yankees.
Gio is back. They got Judge back.
Right.
They'll sneak in. That's just listen. If it's not my team, it's going to end up being the New York team because that seems to how it always
No,
ends up
call
being.
them who they are. They're the Yankees. Just because he has a problem calling them the Yankees, call them who they are. The New York Yankees.
That one team from New York
There you go.
that no one likes.
There you go.
Well, that's the Mets.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough. All right, to end the show, I'm going to say everyone's got homework to do this week. So the NHL final, there's no SD in a final. Remember that. There's no
got
S.
Dallas
When you
and
talk
who?
about hockey final, the Stanley Cup final, no S, everybody.
Dallas and Tampa Bay.
Dallas and Tampa Bay. Watch a period. Everyone's got a homework tonight, even the viewers. Homework. Watch it. It's fun to watch. It's in Edmonton. It's going to be lit.
If you were my teacher, I'm already telling you, just give me the F. I'm not turning the homework.
Or let me write on the
Come
board.
on, man. Hockey
I'm
is so much
scratching
fun.
the-
It would be
fun
it's
if
so
I knew
awesome.
the
the
paint dry.
Dallas Stars. The Stars?
That's
The
what I'm
Stars,
saying.
yeah.
The teams
And the who? The Tampa
Well,
Bay
the
Lightning?
Tampa- that's Shane's team.
But that's my point. The Lightning are stacked. They are stacked with talent. So the homework is to go out and watch a period so you can then learn instead of going, just give me the F.
Spoken like
if
an
we go
ex-teacher.
learn, which is why no one else talks about hockey because no one wants to go watch it. Watch it so you can learn. So you can learn
I'll
a
put it
player.
on in here.
Put it on here. Pick like a guy. Okay, let me pick one guy and let me do some research on him so we can talk about him
Conor
next
McGregor.
week.
Hold on, but I got a question.
Not
I
Conor
probably
McGregor,
can't even
but
spell his
Conor
name.
McDavid.
You may or may not. Depends on where he's from.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
he's from
Most hockey
Canada,
players, I
cool.
can't spell their names.
Yeah. So
Caleb
that's the fun
Wall.
of it.
That's who I'm watching. Caleb Wall.
There you go. Well, that's our show for today. I appreciate Lance as always and James out west. Thank you for
course.
your awesome
Man,
digs.
he was awesome today, baby. Quarterback.
Next week or in 2 weeks, or we'll do it again. That was
Couple
episode
weeks.
52, by the way, if you guys are counting at home.
I'll wear my NFL shirt next time. I don't know
where-
if my wife put all my
Oh, okay.
NFL stuff that we got from.
I want to thank Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy, for this one. We got to come to your house and do a show as
Jimmy,
well.
I need to. My wife put
Yeah.
up all my NFL gear, and I was looking for it around the house like Frozone, looking for a super suit. The past half an hour, I'm screaming like, "Where's my T-shirt?" But that's for another day. I'm gonna find it in a couple of weeks. There you go.
Fair enough. Thanks for watching. We got to do the old proverbial like and share thingy, mabobber, that everyone likes to do on YouTube.
Like it.
Yeah.
Share it.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Smash that like button.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude.
That is the YouTube way of talking.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. Otherwise,
That's No
thanks
Hype.
again, James. And
Of course.
that is No Hype. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Later.
Later.